Ruling party Secretary General Raphael Tuju is addressing the media on a number of emerging developments. Let's listen in.
Extend to Honorable Murathe our gratitude for the very selfless service and time that he gave to the party. Of note to me is the energy he put into the campaign for the Jubilee Party during the general elections 2017. In the last few weeks, or maybe even months, there have been robust political discourse, perceived as both positive and negative within and outside Jubilee Party. That is part and parcel of politics anywhere in the world where people enjoy freedom of speech and expression. It is provided for in our Constitution and an aspect of the country that we should cherish and defend. We as a party would like to state the following. The Jubilee Party is on course with respect to its vision and mission for this country as summed up by the sentiments of His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta on the very first page of our party constitution, which states, and I like to quote in part, Jubilee represents every part of our country, every group in our nation, and is committed to uniting Kenyans under a shared vision of peace, progress, and prosperity. Kenyans are ready for a more sophisticated political debate based on ideas and vision. We are ready to take the first bold step away from the ethnically based politics. That is in the very, very first page in our Constitution. And anyone who would like to get a copy of our Constitution and look at that, that is there. That is the very reason for our existence. I also quote from a statement on record by the Deputy Party Leader, who is also our Deputy President, His Excellency William Ruto. Never again will Kenyan blood be shed because of political differences. When embarking on the journey of building the Jubilee Party, the vision and the mission was to heal our land and to bury the ghosts of the post-election violence of 2007-2008, and to implement the arduous task of bringing Kenya together. We did not expect the journey to be easy, given our political history of the last half a century. In 2017, we went through yet another very divisive electoral process, which reminded us of just how fragile our country and our democracy still is. Bringing this country together is work in progress. It is not just an incident of a few leaders coming together at different times. It is and must be the work of all of us. President Uhuru Kenyatta and Deputy President William Ruto achieved what seemed to be a mission impossible in 2013. They brought peace in Rift Valley among communities who were in previous elections at the center of violence and deaths because of politics. This required bold steps by the two leaders, despite the protests and the misgivings of their followers. They were referred to as dreamers and called all sorts of names, if we care to recall. But they soldiered on, and today we owe the two a debt of gratitude. On 9th of March 2018, there was another bold step by President Uhuru Kenyatta and Honorable Raila Odinga that sought to address another rift in the political space that was inflammable and even resulted in regrettable deaths during the 2017 electoral process. What has now become known as the Handshake or Building of Bridges Initiative is infidelity with what is captured in the very first page of the Jubilee Party Constitution, which requires every true Jubilee member to embrace the vision and the mission of a Kenya for all Kenyans. There's a mission and a vision that the President, the Deputy President, and the former Prime Minister have repeatedly endorsed in their pronouncements that no Kenyan should be vilified, hated, discriminated against on account of their tribe, race, and gender or political persuasion. That is what I heard all of them, all the three leaders, say last month in Kisumu. As the Jubilee Party, the mission and vision is to embrace all Kenyans. We believe we must operate beyond hate and disdain of others that we do not share tribe with. We welcome all Kenyans to join us in the journey and quest to bring the country together. That is the first pillar that informed the formation of Jubilee by bringing all those parties together. We want all tribes, not some tribes, or all tribes except this or that tribe. It is not even about displacement of certain tribes. Jubilee is about a bigger, bolder, and more daring dream of embracing all Kenyans. It is about adding into our vision and mission for all Kenyans. It is only in our unity as Kenyans that we will be able to make Kenya viable as a country for this and the next generation, to whom we must bequeath a stable and prosperous country. We have in recent political discourse witnessed heightened ethnic political mobilization and caucusing. This is a challenge in our political space that is not peculiar to Jubilee Party, but persists in all the other major political parties. It is not our intention to vilify such groupings, as it has been part of our political DNA for many decades. Instead, we at Jubilee will endeavor to implement programs of constructive engagement to persuade all who live in this geographical area called Kenya that our destiny is intertwined and our viability as a modern, stable, and peaceful country is only possible and sustainable within the context of inclusivity and shared prosperity, and by embracing each other as brothers and sisters, children of the one God who put all of us at this time in this place called Kenya. I would like to take this opportunity to assure our members that we are on the right track. Our programs are on course, including the launch of the Party Academy in a few months' time, opening of party branches across the country, all the 47 of them, which is beyond what is required by the Political Parties Act. Ensuring compliance with the requirements of the Political Parties Act, constructive engagements with our legislators, both at the county and national level, and, very important, putting all systems and conditions that are legally required as precedent to the conduct of credible party elections. As the party that has formed government, we are focused on delivering on the promises we made when we asked Kenyans to support us in the last elections. The Big Four form the centerpiece of our agenda for Kenya, and the intention is to deliver on these for the benefit of all Kenyans. And we mean all Kenyans, irrespective of who voted for Jubilee. This is the dictate of the Constitution, and the President and his deputy took an oath to the effect that they will serve all Kenyans without favor. The President pronounced himself on this 2 days ago, and anyone spin doctoring it in any other way should read the Kenyan Constitution and the Jubilee Party Constitution. The president is and has no choice but to be the president of the whole country. The journey of bringing Kenyans together is a continuum and not incidents of 2013, 2017, or 9th of March 2018. The journey is challenging, but it's a journey we must take for the sake of peace and sustained development that is not stunted during every election and in between. Of course, the party is awake to the fact that making the transformation and the transition from ethnic-centered politics to a more enlightened political engagement is a big challenge, since it requires a major paradigm shift. It is challenging to make the transition, especially for politicians, but also especially for media practitioners to also make that paradigm shift. It is also a problem for professionals, lawyers, and all manner of professionals are not able to make that transition. But as we take those bold steps that we must take to heal our land and to secure a stable future for our children and their children, we are not surprised to witness a lot of hangover of the ethnic-based political talk. However, President Uhuru Kenyatta is very clear, consistent, and focused on the vision and mission of Jubilee Party as articulated by him on the very first page of our Constitution. We are ready to take the first bold step away from ethnically based politics. Because in that ethnicity-based politics is embedded the vices of corruption and impunity that undermine the progress of our country and the future of our children. It may take time and sacrifices for the paradigm to shift, but shift it must. We at the Secretariat fully support His Excellency the President and the Deputy President in the important vision and mission to bring Kenyans together. Thank you very much. Sorry, it's a very long statement. I'll take a couple of questions, but if it is something that I've referred to here, I'll refer you back to what is here. So just ask me what you feel I've not answered. Thank you.
I think my name is Raja. I'm just interested to know because I think that these issues going on in this quarter is 2022. As Jubilee Party, you have an automatic flag bearer for 2022. And how do you plan to arrive, or if you don't have, how do you plan to arrive at the 2022 flag bearer? Yeah. Secondly, this is a common knowledge question. Where is the party chairman and what's his role in running the affairs of this party?
About 2022, I think you're looking for a cheap headline for tomorrow. I've answered this before, and the Deputy President has answered it before. Please look on the record. Thank you. Come again? Sorry. I can't hear you.
And my question is, looking at history, what is normally misinterpreted during in the period before, just before election? Is this actually the case of Jubilee, or will Jubilee present a candidate for the 2022 presidential election?
In my statement, I've talked about our party programs being on course. The launch of the Party Academy, which will make this party different. Opening of party branches across the country, all the 47 of them, ensuring compliance with the requirements of the political parties. I really think I've answered that question.
For all those events.
Yes, we have.
What is G? Kena here. I just wanted to know, the squabbles here related to the party elections and all that, all of you are sort of in an interim positions. When will you have the party elections countrywide?
The interim position is also articulated in the party constitution. That interim position expires on the year 2020. It is in the party constitution. Yes.
Katika kujiuzulu kwa aliyekuwa mwenyekiti alisema kwamba kuna mpango kwa baadhi ya wanachama wa chama cha Jubilee kwamba wataondoka kwa chama na kuna mpango pia kupinga naibu rais kuingia ikulu mwaka 2022. Sijui kama una ufahamu kwamba kuna watu kama hao katika chama na iwapo kuna mpango kama huo kuingia naibu rais kuingia ikulu.
I can't talk for other people. I can only talk for Jubilee Party, and then I've stated it here.
You spoke about Jubilee. My two questions are this. Number one, did you try to persuade the vice chairperson not to resign, or were his reasons sufficient enough? And number two, is the party looking at censuring probably some of these politicians who are coming out to speak on what the party has held dear to it with regards to developing the whole country? Because you've said in the statement that it is part of the constitution of the party that we develop every part of the country. Is the party going to censure this? Because probably there is thinking that if it goes the way it is going, then there's a probability of the party disintegrating. What is the party doing probably to bring everybody together other than these programs that you've told us since November last year?
Well, first, censure is the business of the Party Disciplinary Committee, which is a different organ of the party, and they don't answer to me. It is up to them to decide what they want to do. Yes. Yes.
Kuna baadhi ya viongozi kutoka mkoa wa boda la ufa wanataka ujiuzulu kwa sababu ya matamshi yako. Sijui wasemaje ama unasikia.
I've had a lot of stories.
In Swahili?
I've had a lot of stories, but it doesn't bother me. Yes? Yeah? Yes? Yeah? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Kindly, as the Secretary General of the Jubilee Party, do we have wrangles in the party?
We have differences of opinion. Thank you very much.